It is one of the oldest, most natural sweeteners known to mankind, cherished for its rich, caramel-like flavor.
But before it reaches your kitchen, this golden treat begins its journey in these vast fields.
Every day, this facility processes millions of stalks of sugarcane to keep up with global demand. This is Jaggery, often called gur in South Asia, an unrefined sugar that retains its minerals and vitamins. Today, we are taking you inside a mega factory to see exactly how this intense transformation happens. Unlike refined white sugar, Jaggery production is a delicate balance of industrial power and traditional chemistry.
The process is straightforward in theory, but incredibly complex at this massive scale.
It all starts at the weighing station, where the raw material first arrives. Farmers bring their harvest here directly from the fields, ensuring the cane is as fresh as possible. Each truckload is weighed to calculate the payment for the farmers and to track daily production input. Once weighed, heavy cranes lift tons of cane in a single scoop to begin the unloading process.
The cane is dropped onto a feeding table, which regulates the flow into the factory.
Before extraction can begin, the cane travels up a long conveyor belt toward the crushing unit. High-pressure water jets wash away mud, soil, and field debris attached to the stalks.
Clean cane is essential, as any dirt here would ruin the final taste of the Jaggery.
We have now reached the heart of the initial processing, the crushing mill. These heavy rollers exert immense pressure, squeezing the stalks until they burst open. The result is a torrent of raw sugarcane juice, which is collected in troughs below.
The leftover fiber, known as bagasse, comes out the other end almost completely dry.
This waste product is actually very valuable. We will see how it powers the factory later on. This mill runs 24 hours a day during the harvest season to prevent the cut cane from drying out. The collected juice is immediately passed through fine screens to remove small particles of fiber.
Industrial pumps push this raw juice toward the boiling house, where the real magic happens.
Welcome to the boiling house. This facility uses a multi-pan system to gradually concentrate the juice. The fresh juice enters the first pan. At this stage, it is about 80% water. Underneath these pans, a massive fire is roaring to provide the intense heat needed for boiling.
Here is where the bagasse returns. The dried cane fiber is used as the primary fuel source. This makes the factory almost self-sustaining, using the plant's own waste to cook the product. As the temperature rises, the water content begins to evaporate, creating clouds of sweet-smelling steam.
Boiling brings impurities to the surface in the form of a dark, foamy scum.
Skilled workers constantly monitor this stage, ready to perform the vital clarification process.
To clean the juice, natural clarificants, like vegetable extracts, are often added.
These natural agents bind with the impurities, forcing them to float to the top. The worker then carefully skims off this layer, leaving the juice beneath clear and golden.
This cleaning step is repeated multiple times to ensure high-quality, grit-free Jaggery.
Once cleaned, the juice is transferred to the next pan, which is even hotter.
In the second stage, the concentration increases. The liquid is slowly turning into syrup.
You can see the viscosity changing. the bubbles are becoming heavier and slower.
Constant stirring is crucial to prevent the sugars from burning at the bottom of the pan.
The temperature here reaches over 118 degrees Celsius, or about 244 degrees Fahrenheit.
The factory floor is hot and humid, a testament to the massive amount of energy being transferred. Finally, the syrup reaches the concentration pan for the last stage of boiling.
Here, the moisture content is reduced to less than 5%. It is no longer juice, it is liquid jaggery.
The master boiler checks the consistency. He is looking for the perfect thread formation.
A common test involves dropping a bit of syrup into cold water. If it forms a hard ball, it's ready.
Once the batch is approved, it's time to move to the cooling section immediately.
The thick, lava-like substance is released from the boiling pan. Gravity helps the hot jaggery flow into large, flat cooling trays. At this stage, it looks like a giant pool of molten gold. But the work isn't done. The syrup must be cooled evenly to crystallize correctly.
Within minutes, the liquid transforms into a soft, pliable semi-solid.
This mixing action also helps develop the signature lighter golden color of high-quality jaggery.
They must act quickly. If it cools too much, it will become rock hard and impossible to shape.
For the classic block shape, molds are prepared with a light coating of edible oil to prevent sticking.
Teams scoop the warm, soft jaggery into buckets, typically weighing 1 kg, 5 kg, or 10 kilograms.
Hundreds of these buckets line the floor, resting until the jaggery solidifies.
In another section, smaller round shapes are made by hand for specific markets.
These spheres are placed on racks to air dry and harden.
Some modern factories also produce jaggery powder, which requires an extra crushing and drying step.
This powder is becoming popular as a direct substitute for coffee sugar.
Back at the main line, the blocks in the buckets need several hours to cool down to room temperature.
The result is a solid, dense block of pure energy, ready for consumption.
Before packaging, random samples are taken to the on-site laboratory.
Technicians check for moisture content, purity, and sugar concentration.
Ensuring there are no chemical residues or foreign particles is a top priority. To protect the jaggery from humidity, which can make it sticky, it is tightly shrink-wrapped. Labels are applied, indicating the batch number and manufacturing date. The pallets are stacked high, ready for dispatch.
This warehouse stores the daily production, which can exceed 50 tons in peak season.
From here, trucks will carry this sweet cargo to markets across the country and even overseas.
The cycle is complete, from the green fields surrounding the factory to the packaged product leaving the gate.
What started as a tough stalk of grass has been transformed through heat and labor into a golden delight.
Back in your home, this jaggery is ready to be used in desserts, tea, or traditional medicines.
It adds a depth of flavor that simple white sugar just can't match.
The factory continues to hum into the night, preparing the next batch of nature's sweetener.
If you enjoyed seeing how millions of sugarcane stalks become jaggery, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Let us know in the comments which factory you want to tour next. Thanks for watching.